Ivanam Kaviviritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhuridajanaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual prosperity, beauty and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your holy message to the suffering humanity. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna is in the Kashipur garden house, and we are in the middle of discussion when Sri Ramakrishna is talking to the devotees. Girish Ghosh is also present there. Girish returned to the room and sat in front of the master. Master to Girish, Rakhal has now understood what is good and what is bad, what is real and what is unreal. But he has realized all these are illusory and impermanent. Rakhal will never be attached to the world. He is like a mudfish. The fish lives in the mud, but there is not the slightest trace of mud on its body. So Girish, sir, I don't understand all this. You can make everyone pure and unattached if you want to. You can make everyone good, whether he is a worldly man or a sannyasi. The Malaya breeze, I believe, turns all trees into sandalwood. So here we find that Sri Ramakrishna is praising the renunciation of Rakhal, his spiritual son, and is saying that he has understood what is unreal and what is real, and he is not attached to anything else, and he will never be attached to the world. That means that is the conviction of Sri Ramakrishna, that Rakhal has raised a flight, so he will never be attracted to the world. And he is giving the example like mudfish. Mudfish lives in the mud, but the skin is so polished and smooth. No mud sticks into the body of the fish. So that's why it's called a mudfish. Mudfish example means you live in the world, but nothing worldly will touch you. So that is the beauty he has been expressing here, that Rakhal is like a mudfish. This is the example to how to live in the world. We live in the world and we are suffering. We are now like a puppet in the hand of the nature. Now happy, now unhappy, now very highly emotional, next moment it is all dry. So this is our life in the duality, we live in the duality. But mudfish means he lives in the world, but he does not live in the duality. If you get stuck, then it is the duality. I like good means there is something which I like bad, I don't like it. I like it means I dislike something. I love something, I hate something. You cannot say I only love, no, you also hate. So long you say one, you have the concept of two. So you have the concept of two, you have the concept of one or many. So this is the philosophical background of understanding that this world is there, it is for our attraction. And it, okay, but to live in the world you can enjoy freely if you don't get attached. So attachment is the cause of all suffering. No? Whole Gita's teaching is got detach, detach, detach. It's not saying go into the forest and live like a wandering monk. It's not saying that. This the art of living is this, how to live in the world but fully detached and enjoy the bliss of life. There is happiness comes, okay, it comes. Misery comes, it comes. So that is a state to be attained by spiritual practice. So Sri Ramakrishna is talking about the glory of the renunciation or detached outlook of Rakhal, and is saying he's like a mud fish, and that fish lives in the mud, but there is not the slightest trace of mud on its body. But Gish stands as an epitome of great devotion and faith, and he believes that Ramakrishna is an incarnation, God himself. There is no question of no doubt or not any iota of confusion there. That he knows that Ramakrishna is God himself. That's why he says, sir, I don't understand all this. Means you are saying, oh, Rakhal has been so uplifted and his mind is so detached, he has become like mudfish. I don't understand all these things. He is a straightforward man. You can make everyone pure and unattached if you want. It is you can do. You have done that. It is your grace. That's true. When avatar comes means God's grace come down for us human. How do we transcend this duality? How do we transcend our suffering and pain? By this process of catching hold on to the incarnation. We do not know what is God like. But when you look at Buddhas and Ramas and Krishnas and Ramakrishnas, Christ, Buddhas, we know that is called God. Infinite love, unconditional blessings, redemption power, taking away the sins of others, just by touch, by look, giving them illumination and freedom from all bondage, we know that is called God. Ishvara, Ishvara is who? We have no concept. We are always live in the conceptual world. But when one can see incarnation is the embodiment of God himself, because there Sri Ramakrishna by touch could give liberation. Ramakrishna said in one point before his passing away that I need not have to touch. I will tell you to touch. By that power, that other person will be liberated from bondage. Baba, for liberation from bondage, what we are doing? Monks are living the life of celibate life for whole life, for God realization, for freedom, for mukti. All the austerities people are doing for ultimate realization and liberation from bondage, no? And Ramakrishna can just look or touch, it will be done. That is the power of God, and God can be. That's why Gish believes that Ramakrishna is that, and he says that you can make everyone good, whether he is a worldly person or a sannyasi. It does not need what is the quality of the person. You can just by wish you can transform them. Their whole mind can be purified. And he says it is like a Malaya breeze, one type of breeze, which goes that breeze goes over the trees and plants, everything becomes sandalwood. It is a belief that there is a breeze which blows, Malaya breeze. It carries the smell or the fragrance of sandalwood. So it is, I believe, that you are like that. You touch, anyone you touch, that becomes liberated. So that's why Swami Vishuddhananda used to say, Vishuddhananda Maharaj was one of our president, first of course vice president for a long time and president for a short time. But he used to say, even the cats and dogs of Kamarpukur, where he was born, They are all liberated. They are all sages. They are all saints of past life. They were born there to see what's the lila, the divine sport of God. It is the belief that Krishna, Vrindavan, every dust of Vrindavan is pure. Everyone is purified by the touch of that feet of the Lord. So that is the conviction of the... What page you was looking? 957? Huh? You are on 957? I don't understand what you say. Are you on which page?
Now I'm on 957.
So that's why you are looking somewhere else. Anyhow, the Master is responding to that question. Master says, not unless there is a substance in them. Ramakrishna is also just making us alert. We will not do anything. If we find we are all, we all find excuse. If God is so gracious, what to do? We do whatever we like. There is a story, you remember, that when Swami, Swahananda Swami, he got initiated from Swami, whom? Vijnanananda. So when Swami initiated, and in his batch there was another gentleman, see, after initiation was over and all saluted, and then that with a great devotion, one of the friend of, or the associates who were taking the initiation from Maharaj Vijnananandaji, he asked, Swami, if I cannot do what you have said, then what will happen? He was Pakibaz means he was trying to escape. He was an escapist. So in his mind it was that probably Maharaj will say like Holy Mother, my child, what is the fear? I will take care of it. That was his internal desire to hear from Guru. If he comes from Guru's mouth like Vijnanananda Maharaj, so I'll have to do nothing. Well, eat, drink, and whatever I shall do, and God will do everything for me. But he has caught. Then Maharaj said, Vijnanananda Maharaj said, what was to happen will not happen. If you don't do, I have given you the spiritual instruction and all this mantra, japa, etc. If you don't do, what will happen? What was to happen will not happen. So here also Ramakrishna says that yes, God's grace, yes, I can do everything, but some metal, there should be some element of purity, some element of some good quality. It needs little basic character to absorb that spirituality. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said that there is a substance, not unless there is a substance. And he is saying that there are few trees, the cotton tree, for instance, which are not turned into sandalwood. That means, he says, you said when the breeze of Malaya blows, every tree will be purified as sandal paste. But Ramakrishna said, no, not everyone. There are certain trees which are so dull, even the touch, God touches them, they don't feel that touch. Amen. It is called the Gondare Chamra, ki Ingreji. What is that? Rhino skin. It is rhino skin. You chop, it does not matter anything. With the chopper or whatever you do, it is so thick skin. It's called the thick skin. So that there are people who are, even God comes before them, and they will say, doubt, no? When Vishwarup, the cosmic vision of Lord Krishna, Narayana, he appeared with the request of Arjuna, no? Narayana showed his cosmic form. And seeing that, Arjuna was overwhelmed. And he had written such beautiful praise in the Gita, Bhagavad Gita. No? And when Duryodhana saw that, he said, "Oh Krishna, you know many tricks. My wife can do more tricks than this." So, seeing the same cosmic vision of the Lord, one is overwhelmed with joy because he has the element, metal, and another is saying, "Oh, don't show this trick. I know of this trick. My wife can show that." So you see, that's why Ramakrishna said, yes, God's grace is there, but we should have to have little element of purity, self-control, this service idea, serving people. That's a noble qualities, characters is very much minimum is necessary. Master, Girish says faith is 100%. So he says, I don't care. Whatever you say, I don't care. Master, but this is the law. Law is that you should have something. There should be one container to contain something. If the container is flat, you give anything, it goes away. It does not go away. It does not stick there. So that's the thing Sri Ramakrishna says, but this is the law. But Girish says, but everything about you is illegal. That means law does not work there. You are beyond law. Actually, God is beyond law. We are under law. Our life goes on like one way. We have to go through certain principles, no? But for God Himself, He creates the law. Who makes the law, he can break the law. He is the authority. But we are all under the law, so we will have to follow this principle. But everything about is illegal, anyhow. So the devotees were listening to this conversation in great. Every now and then, the fan in M's hand stopped moving. I was fanning Ramakrishna. Those are not. Then, not that point. He picks water. He lays his 10 cubit down. All my sins will be absorbing the skin. That means I am radiating sin only. I have done such sinful. But see what I have become. He has taken away everything. That's why when one develops love of God, then one needs nothing to do. M is saying, yes, sir, Master. But a devotee must assume towards God a particular attitude. God, in his incarnation as Rama, demonstrated the 5 moods, Shanta, Dasya, Vatsalya and Sakhya. But Krishna demonstrated Madura besides all these. So he is saying that devotees must assume towards God a particular attitude. We should love God with particular feeling. Either He is my master, I am the servant. Either He is my mother, I am the child. Or God is my child, I am the mother, or I am the father. So, some attitude should be taken care of. And Rama, he says, is the example of the 4. Shanta at mood or attitude is looking equally everyone. God is in everyone. That type of attitude is called Shanta mood. Dasya, I am the servant, like Hanuman to Rama. Dasya. Vatsalya, mother is Kaushalya, and I am that child. Or God is my child. And Sakhya, friendship like Arjuna used to feel friendship with Krishna. But Bhagavan Krishna demonstrated the extreme idea of Madura Bhav, the husband-wife relationship, that attitude of loving God in the beloved. Radha cherished the attitude of Madura Bhav to Krishna. Her love was romantic, but in the case of Sita, It was the pure love of a chaste wife for her husband. There is no romance in her love. But all this is Leela of God. He demonstrates different ideas to suit different times. Master. Girish, to Girish and others, he says, Pagli, a crazy lady used to come, who used to carry the attitude of Madura Bhav. So Ramakrishna says, Pagli cherishes the attitude of Madura towards me. One day she came to Dakshineshwar. Suddenly she burst out crying. Why are you crying? I asked her. And she said, oh, my head is aching. All laughed. Another day I was eating. When she came to Dakshineshwar, she suddenly said, won't you be kind to me? I had no idea of what was passing through her mind and went on eating. Then she said, why did you push me away mentally? I asked her, what is your attitude? She said, Madura. Ah, I said, but I look on all women as a manifestation of the Divine Mother. All women are mothers, all are mothers to me. Thereupon he said, I don't know at all that. Then I called Rakhal and said to him, Ramlal, listen to her. What is she talking about? This pushing away mentally. Even now she keeps up that attitude. So he's talking about, in one lady used to come who is behaved like a crazy person, but her attitude was to Ramakrishna, to think that Madhura Bhava, husband-wife relation. But Sri Ramakrishna is oblivious of that, but she had the attitude to Sri Ramakrishna. Girish, blessed indeed is Pagli. Girish taking this side of Pagli. Pagli means the crazy lady. Maybe she is crazy. Maybe she is beaten by the devotees, but she meditates on you 24 hours a day. No matter how she meditates on you, no harm can ever befall her. This is called Girish's faith. It is true, consciously or unconsciously. You think of anything, your mind gets colored in that coloring, is it not? If I say a cow, what is coming in your mind? A four-legged animal, no? Is it? So simple one word is creating that impression of a cow. If I say, just an example, Christ, see, all of your mind, a picture of Christ is coming. So mind always takes the shape and size of the object. And what you think, that is your reality. You live in that reality. We all live in our own reality, as is our mental condition. So here, Sri Ramakrishna, Girish Ghosh is saying that Pagli, whatever she does, right or wrong is not the question. But she is thinking of you, Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all purity, all love, all joy, all blessedness. You are Satchidananda Brahman, taking the human form. Thinking of you, all purity, everything will go away. When you think of God in any way, Ramakrishna gave the example, you take a candy and put it on the upper side of the tongue. How will you taste? Suppose you put it under the tongue. The taste is same, to the right, to the left. Whether you know it or not, if you think of God in any way, in any attitude, your mind will be purified. You will be. So that is the Girish Ghosh is saying, that part, that whatever you say, she is bad, and all the Ramakrishna devotees don't like that crazy lady comes, they drive them away. But Girish Ghosh supports that she is thinking of you day and night. That is the point. That's why it is called, you love someone, you think of him, no? And you hate someone, that also may make you think of him. So if you hate God, that's also thinking of God. Kangsa the demon, king, thinking of Krishna, Krishna all the time. At the point of death, he had the vision of Krishna. So, yena tena prakarena Krishna manaha niveshayat. There is a statement, by any means, yena tena prakarena, by any way, any means, Krishna manaha, keep your mind in the Lord God, Lord Krishna. That is the purpose of life. By hating, by loving, by criticizing, by being angry with him. That's why Ramakrishna say, you can have every type of attitude towards God. So that will purify the heart. Because you are thinking of God. If unconsciously you put your finger in the fire will burn it or not. And consciously you put the fire, you will feel the pain more, but burning is the same. Burning remaining the same, your feeling may be intense or less. When you are really lovingly going towards God, you feel the joy more. And hatefully when you go towards God, realization will come. But the enjoyment will not be there. The enjoyment of peace, enjoyment of fullness of the heart, that will not be felt. The devotees remained silent. Rakhal expressed his sympathy for Pagli. He said, well, all feel sorry for her. She causes so much annoyance, and for that she suffers too. Niranjan, to Rakhal, you feel that way for her because you have a wife at your home, but we could kill her. Rakhal sharply said, such bragging, how dare you utter such words before him, meaning before Sri Ramakrishna. Master, to Gish, lust and gold alone is this world. Many people regarded money as their very lifeblood. But however you may show love for money, one day perhaps every bit of it will slip from your hands. In our part of the country, the farmers make narrow ridges around their paddy fields. You know what these ridges are? Some farmers make ridges with great care all the way around the field. Such ridges are destroyed by the rush of the rainwater. But some farmers leave a part of the ridge open and puts sod. Sod means the grass, a chunk of grass. The water flows through that sod, leaves the field covered with silt after that rain. They reap a rich harvest. They alone make good use of their money who spend it for the worship of God or the service of the holy men and the devotees. Their money bears food. I cannot eat anything offered by physicians. I mean those who traffic in human suffering. Their money is blood and pus. So Sri Ramakrishna is talking that who have money should utilize the money in the best possible way. And what is the best possible way? For God, for poor people, for their charity. So that is the way of mending. Otherwise, it is all bondage. And he said that I cannot take the money, anything offered by physicians, which doctors. Why you are saying? Not all doctors. He says that I mean those who traffic in human suffering. There are good doctors, bad doctors, but some doctors are there to make money. They charge high charge. In In third world countries, you can get plenty of examples. Someone don't need an operation, and doctor will say, yeah, you need an operation, and you'll operate to get some money, operation charge. So this type of people, Ramakrishna is saying, I cannot take their money. So that means money earned in a nice way, in a genuine way, that is all okay, but not with other ideas. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned to physicians in this connection. Gish. Dr. Rajendra Datta is a doctor. He's a generous person. He does not accept a penny from anybody. He gives away money in charity. Girish Ghosh said. That means he's mentioning that Ramakrishna said already that I don't mean others, but those who are trafficking in human suffering. At the cost of human suffering, they earn money and they make people suffer more to pocket their money. Now we go to the next page, 959. It is Sri Ramakrishna still in the Kashipur Garden House, and it is April 17, 1886. It was the night of the full moon. For some time Narendra had been going to Dakshineshwar, Delhi. He spent a great deal of time in Panchavati, in meditation and contemplation. And then this day he returned from Dakshineshwar in the evening, and also with him Tarak and Kali went with him. Now, a few minutes later, M came into Ramakrishna's room and sat down on the floor. The master asked him to wash his towel and spittoon, and M washed them in the reservoir. There are some other descriptions, so I skip a few pages and I come to the chapter which says Master's love for his devotees on page 962. M and Narendra were strolling in the garden of the house at Kashipur, Wednesday, April 21, 1886. M and Narendra were strolling in the garden house at the Kashipur. Narendra was very much worried because he had not yet been able to solve the financial difficulty of his family. Narendra: I don't care for a job at Vidyasagar school. I have been thinking of going to Gaya. I have been told that a Jobindar there needs the service of a manager for his estate. There is no such thing as God. I am smiling. You may say that it is a conversation between mostly M and Narendra. So are you interested in that, or I shall go to Sri Ramakrishna's statement? This is the last part, that's why. That's the point. And this time Ramakrishna could not talk much because of the cancer. Here, Master, I just little. Sri Narendra was singing some songs. It is on page 968. As Sri Ramakrishna heard the lines of the song, contemplating day and night the absolute Brahman, he said in a very low voice, "Ah." Then by a sign, he said to the devotees, This is the characteristic of a yogi. That means contemplating day and night in the thought of God. Narendra finished his hymn, chanting of the hymn. Again Narendra is singing, meditate on him, the perfect embodiment of bliss, etc. And then again Narendra sang another song, I have joined my heart to thee, all that exists art thou. Jo kuchu hai, so tu hi hai. Everything belongs, what I see, everything is you, it is you. As the Master listened to this line, thou hast entered every heart, he said by sign, God dwells in every one's heart, he is the inner guide. These songs are very uplifting. Narendra singing, naturally Sri Ramakrishna is going to high ecstatic mood. And he's saying that the meaning of the song is that God is existing in the heart of all. God dwells in the heart of all. As Narendra sang the line, I see thee wherever I look, all that exists art thou. Then Hirananda said, yes, all that exists art thou. Now you say, thou, thou, not I, but thou. Narendra, give me a one, and I will give you a million. Thou art I am thou, nothing exists but I. Narendra recited a few verses from Astavakra Samhita. The room again becomes silent. Master is talking to Hirananda, pointing towards Narendra. He seems to be walking with an unsheathed sword in his hand. How quiet, like a cobra, quiet before the charbar, with his hood spread. He is talking, glorifying Narendra. Narendra's spirit is so high, so it's burning fire. He says, I am that Vedantic concept, he is standing there. So he is saying that his argument and reason is like a sword which is uncovered. Sri Ramakrishna fell into an inward mood. Hirananda and him were seated near him. There was complete silence in the room. The Master's body was being wrecked with indescribable pain. The devotees could not bear the sight of his illness, but somehow the Master made them forget his suffering. He sat there, his face beaming, as if there were no trace of illness in his throat. The devotees had placed flower and garlands before him as their loving offerings. He picked up a flower and touched with his first hand, and then his throat, heart and navel. To the devotees he seemed a child playing with flowers. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell the devotees that his divine visions and moods were accompanied by the rising of the spiritual current inside his body. Now he talked to M. Master, I do not remember when the current went up. Now I am in the mood of a child. Current went up means he is talking about his spiritual awakening, the Kundalini power. So this description we can just imagine. This is also one type of meditation. If we think Ramakrishna is emaciated and he is lying down in the bed and he cannot speak, that's why he is indicating this, that, and just expressing the idea with little indicative words. And the songs are sung and his mind, face is flushing with joy, and he is just looking at everyone with love and compassion. And so much is going on in the body, but his face beaming, as if there are no trace of illness in his throat. And now Sri Ramakrishna says, I don't remember when the current went up. Current means the spiritual current. Now I am in the mood of a child. That is why I am playing with the flowers this way. Do you know what I see now? I see my body as a frame made of bamboo strips and covered with a cloth. The frame moves, and it moves because someone dwells inside it. Again I see the body to be like a pumpkin, with the seeds scooped out. Inside this body, there is no trace of passion or any worldly attachment. It is all very clean inside. It becomes very painful for Sri Ramakrishna to talk further. He felt very weak. M quickly grasped what the master wanted to tell the devotees and said, "And you are seeing God inside yourself." Master, both I am seeing inside and outside. The indivisible Satchidananda, I see it both inside and outside. It has merely assumed this sheath, making his body for a support and exist both inside and outside. I clearly perceive this. It's a very great statement as Ramakrishna is talking about how his Kundalini is waking up, and after that how he is in a mood of a child. And when he is in the mood of a child, then he is saying that what he feels, that I see this body like a pumpkin with seed scooped out. That means everything is cleaned inside. All the negativities, all worldliness. There is no worldliness, no any lower thought. But he's saying inside is totally pure and stainless. And also inside and outside. Outside also he says that I see the Satchidananda, indivisible Satchidananda. That Ramakrishna gave the example that to think of like a pot or a jar put into the middle of the ocean. So inside the pot there is water, outside the pot is the ocean water. The same water, inside Satchidananda, outside Satchidananda. And he is talking with eyes open. This is a point to understand. We can close our eyes and can imagine something, and just is imagination for us. But Sri Ramakrishna is feeling that he is saying that I am seeing this body like a container. Inside is the Satchidananda, outside is Satchidananda Brahman. M and Hirananda listened intently to these words about his exalted state of God consciousness. A few moments later, Sri Ramakrishna looked at them and resumed the conversation. Master, you all seem to me to be my own kinsmen. I do not look on any one of you as a stranger. I see you all as so many sheets, and the heads are moving. I notice that when my mind is united with God, the suffering of the body is left aside. Now I perceive only this. The indivisible Satchidananda is covered within the skin, and this sore in the throat is on the one side of it. The master again fell silent. A few minutes later he said, the attributes of matter are superimposed on spirit, and the attributes of spirit are superimposed on matter. Therefore, when the body is ill, a man says, I am ill. He is talking of the Adhyasa theory. In Vedanta, there is a Adhyasa Apavada, an idea that God is there, we have superimposed our worldly ideas of her. That's why I see the world. This is all divine, all Satchidananda. But I am seeing you as a human being because I have superimposed the idea of human beings upon the Satchidananda. So Sri Ramakrishna says, but I can see that it is the attributes of the matter as superimposed on the spirit, capital, and the attributes of spirit are superimposed on the matter. That means we don't see Satchidananda, we see it is everything matter. But this matter is a superimposition on the Satchidananda. Therefore, when the body is ill, everyone says, man says, I am ill. Hirananda wanted to understand what the master has just said. M told him, when hot water scalds the hands. People say that the water scalds, but the truth of that, it is the heat of that scale. And Hirananda says, please tell us why a devotee of God suffers so much. Master, it is the body that suffers. Sri Ramakrishna seemed about to say something. Hirananda and M eagerly awaited for him to hear. Sri Ramakrishna said, do you understand? M said to Hirananda in a whisper, the body suffers for the purpose of teaching men. His life is like a book of reference. In spite of so much physical suffering, his mind is on the 100% united in God. M is telling that Sri Ramakrishna is suffering, his body is suffering, but not he. And he is just, why it is happening? To demonstrate to the people that body and soul can be separated while living. His life is an example. We cannot do that. Anything happens to the body, we get identified. But why Ramakrishna is suffering? To show as a demonstration, Vedantic truth, that body will suffer, he will be in joy. Can you see such example? Look at Sri Ramakrishna at this stage. Yes, it is like Christ's crucifixion, but still the mystery remains. Why should he, of all people, suffer like this? Okay, Christ's example is also he crucified for the good of others, no? For demonstration of others. But the question of a devotee will be there, even then, why he should suffer for such suffering? So M said, the Master says, it is the will of the Divine Mother. This is how the Divine Mother is sporting through his body. The two devotees were talking in whisper. Sri Ramakrishna asked Hirananda by a sign what M was talking about. Since Hirananda could not understand the sign, Sri Ramakrishna repeated it. Hirananda says, he says that your illness is for the teaching of men, Master, but that's only his guess. To M and Hirananda, my mood is changing. I think that I should not say to everyone, may your spiritual consciousness be awakened. People are so sinful in the Kali Yuga. If I awaken their spiritual consciousness, I shall have to accept the burden of their sins. Ramakrishna never said all these things openly, but it's the last part of his body, life. So he is talking that this is the special situation when he is saying that I think I should not say to everyone, because Ramakrishna, as I said, if he says, you be awakened, the person will be awakened. So he says, I do not want to say everyone now, may your spiritual consciousness be awakened. Because why? When the people are so sinful in this age, Kali Yuga, Iron Age, if I awaken their spiritual consciousness, I shall have to accept the burden of their sins. That is the distinction between ordinary Guru and Jagat Guru. Understand? Jagat Guru is who? Guru of the entire universe. Who? Avatars. So, ordinary Gurus give the mantra in the ear and says that you have to do your sadhana. Is it not? But Jagat Guru, when he gives anything, instantly he will take yours, all the sins, all your old debts, how much you have credit card dues, he will take away immediately, all the sins. And all liberation and freedom and joy will go. So that is their purpose. So he says that Ramakrishna said, I wish to say that you all be free, but I don't say because I'll have to suffer more. Already this is going on, throat pain, and it will increase. That's why he said, if I awaken their spiritual consciousness, I shall have to accept the burden of their sins. M to Hirananda, he will not awaken people's spiritual consciousness except at the right time. When a person is ready, he will awaken his spiritual consciousness. Okay, so we end here because this was the last part, so very painful. Others speak in front of Sri Ramakrishna's room. They go and Sri Ramakrishna mostly cannot speak, but few words out of compassion he spoke. So we are here ending on page 970. So I have turned many pages. And we'll think about that last part. There are interesting part, we can select little bit. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanam Astu. Okay. So tomorrow is no class because tomorrow is the 4th of July and we'll have our program in the Trabuco Monastery. Program starts at noon time, 12 o'clock the worship starts. But those who want to go a little early. And then the very little small worship, maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And then we have a prasad lunch. And after that there will be little few minutes talk. And then afterwards little bhajan music. And that's the overall plan of tomorrow. So please come, whoever can come. And any question?
This 6th Saturday we have Pasadena.
Oh, next day after tomorrow, that is Saturday. Saturday we have open house in.
Day after tomorrow to tomorrow is
tomorrow.
Thursday.
Oh, next day, one gap day is there. Right. Tomorrow is Thursday. Friday is nothing. Saturday we go to Swamiji house, Vivekananda house, and that program starts at 4 o'clock. As usual, small worship. After that puja we come down and we have little discussion and reminiscences, some bhajan and some singing and the significance of that place. The Swami will speak and then afterwards some bhajan singing and then refreshment. That is the day on Saturday. So 4 o'clock we start. It will be over by 2.5 hours or so, 3 hours maximum. So these are the two announcements. Okay. Any question?
2 questions.
Can you please talk about how Girish Ghosh has such simple faith in Sri Ramakrishna? Are not worldly people usually skeptics? Yeah, it was how can I say, such simple faith. Simple faith in Sri Ramakrishna. He's the Bhairava, no? Bhairava of Shiva. Shiva's guard, Bhairava. So he's born in this age as Girish Ghosh. So they are actually, we do not know, they are born to demonstrate high spiritual wealth of Sri Ramakrishna, and they play in different roles around Ramakrishna. When Avatara comes, he brings his own, entourage. So he brought, from Christ group, when he came in Christ, many companions were there. So 2 companions he collected from there, Swarat and Soshi. Then he collected from Sri Chaitanya, who? Niranjan Naki. Chaitanya's
Balaram or
Master Sai. Okay. So anyhow, so from different, I think that Girish also was of that. That's why their faith is so profound. Very difficult to have such unflinching love and faith in God. It is an exceptional thing. And another question, what do you mean by we know meditator on Sri Ramakrishna is lying on the bed and Kundalini is rising in him, how that helps? How is that meditation? No, I didn't say that you have to think that his Kundalini is rising. I am saying that we can think this way, that Sri Ramakrishna is lying in the bed in this condition of utmost suffering, but his face is beaming with joy. He is talking to the devotees, removing the doubts of the devotees around. So this type of meditation on the form, and lila, it is called the divine sport. Lila helps us in spiritual journey. Our spiritual journey becomes more interesting if God, in your meditation, God stands still. When you do the meditation, first meditation on the form, for all of us, it is a static, some imagined form. But it is when it becomes lively, it becomes moving, then you see it is a live, it is a living Ramakrishna, not a statue of Ramakrishna, not a photograph of Ramakrishna, not a painting of Ramakrishna, but it is really, he is moving, he is breathing. So this type of concept, if it is brought, it helps us meditation. Our meditation become more deep and profound. So that I meant. Anything, any part of the gospel you can take, and we can meditate on that particular segment and put myself or yourself in that picture. You go to Dakshineshwar yourself. You sit at the feet of Master Masai sitting, you sit near him. Girish Ghosh is there, you sit nearby. And Ramakrishna is in the couch, sitting or lying down or sitting or dancing or singing, you be there. That is called the Leela. It is very helpful to think of him as a living entity, not mere a picture or photograph or statue. Okay?
Master said Madura was from the essence of Radha.
Radha's also.
From
Arjuna's, right. They all come from to play in different roles in the divine play of the. So, any question from the floor? Anyone have any question? Also, sit down. No question, okay? So, oh no, it is but tomorrow.
So the name Kali Yuga, does that have a meaning? I've heard it before.
Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga, there are 4 Yugas. Yugas means 4 period of time. Satya is when truth prevails more, people are honest, people are sincere, they love each other, they don't hate. Honesty, purity, love, sympathy, all these noble qualities are more in the society among the major people. That is called Satya Yuga, golden. Satya, Treta, Dapur and Kali. Kali is the last period where it is called the Iron Age. They give the example that when a cow stands on 4 legs, that is a perfect balance, no? And now one next Satya is 4-leg cow. Cow is mother, divine mother, and giving milk and sustenance to the society and every human soul. Then 1-leg gun, no? Satya Treta, no? Treta is Rama's period, no? Rama's period, that is called Treta Yuga. And then 1 leg is gone. The cow is standing on the 3 legs, no? 1 leg gone means impurity has entered 1/4 in the society. Cunningness, meanness, abduction of wife. True. Rama's period it happened. So at Satya Yuga there is no such idea. There is no, in Satya Yuga there is no such thing. People cannot believe that they will be looking upon anyone with lustfulness and this and that. So pure society, Satya Yuga. Kali, Satya Treta. Dapur is Krishna's Yuga, period. And another leg of the cow is gone. Now, see how difficult for the cow to sustain, the whole world to sustain. Mother Earth is crying, 2 legs are gone. That time more negative things have entered into the minds of the people, no? And then Koli means 1 leg. 3 legs are gone. That's why see, look at the whole world situation, even individual home situation, in the office situation, everywhere see, my God, so much of negative. So, that means the negativity and non-godly character as in all directions is interwoven. That's called the Iron Age or Kali Yuga. So that is the division, meaning the society's downgrade journey. And then again it will come up. But it is said that Ramakrishna came, we believe this, that the Satya Yuga started. That Satya Yuga started means now holiness, love, joy will gradually creep in the mind of harmony, peace. Thakur lived for that life, not discriminating with anyone. Holy Mother said, no one is stranger, my child. Again to unite the ideology into the higher level. Vivekananda preached the harmony of religion and all these ideas to bridge them again and to wipe out sectarianism, bigotry, and his horrible descendant has destroyed this peace of people. No, Swamiji said. So he is trying to. Now we should unite together. So the Satya Yuga is just germinating again. That is the belief. Okay, thank you all for joining. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.